Hating, bro. Um, EJ still pushing up into a bit of an area right now. Okay, just watching what it's gonna do. Um, so let's get started. Like I said to you, we was looking at US 30 and EJ. So our US 30, we was in US 30 from up here. We had a lovely push all the way down into these levels. Now we're seeing a retracement. Okay, all the way back up into here. So we're going to see where this market is going out. Remember, before I was a little bit concerned how it took this liquidity. I don't believe it's going to come all the way back up in here and take this liquidity. But what I would say is today we do have Euro economic news, okay, which could add some volatility to the markets, could make these markets do things that were not, a bit unexpected, okay. I'm also looking at EJ. We was in EJ earlier over here. Okay, took a really good trade in EJ also that was running direction. Now I still think these markets want to come down regardless of their current retracement. Okay, but EJ, we was in these trades from about here, and these markets. Sorry, was in from up here. Well, there's an entry here. Have a look at the entry. Liquidity was taken over here this morning. If I was to do this. Look to my right hand side of the screen, you can see it says liquidity taken, okay, over here. And then right up here, we saw this manipulation M, and we can see the entry. That was the entry here. Can we see it? Somebody tell me they can see it. Let me get rid of this arrow. Can somebody see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, oh my goodness. US 30 is ramping with me. One second. One second. We'll have a glimpse of US 30 in a minute, all right? So that was the entry. Brrr, lovely trade. There was another entry here. Brrr, I took both of the trades. I was actually telling Jivan how, imagine I took the first entry and I accidentally, and I only realized after the fact, I pressed buy when it should have been sell. So I'm like, okay, yes, running, I'm happy, I'm over the moon, this thing's going in the right direction. I'm like, okay, wicked. Then I looked at my profits. I'm like, wait a minute. How am I negative? Is because I accidentally hit the sell button. So the buy button, sorry, when I should have hit the sell button. Okay. This is mistake, 101. Yeah. Like, do's and don'ts 101. All right. I made a total. That was a hash. So I had to close that position, which was only $350 up, but I closed it, took the loss, and got in the right direction, and continue taking it down. And we've seen a retracement now coming on. That's fine. We're expecting to see these markets retrace because we've been breaking structure. Have a look. We've been breaking structure. We've been coming down here, breaking structure, been breaking structure. Yeah, and the markets has had a big retracement all up into these levels. Now it'll be interesting to see if it behaves and turns around and keeps going in the direction I think it wants to go, or whether or not it just wanted to go to 50% of the range. All right, this is EJ. Maybe it just wanted to go to 50% of this Asian session range, which is right where it turned around, and now it wants to push up here into these levels. I'm hoping not, because it's not what I had on the cards for it. But let's zoom out and look at it on a bigger picture now. Look at the bigger Russian doll and understand why it might want to be doing that. Okay. Have I missed something and not seen it being in it? Well, look, have a look at this. Let's draw some lines in here. Okay. Let's draw some lines in. Okay. So look, even though it's ugly, yeah, this is the reality. This is a high. This is a lower low. This is a lower high. This is a lower low. Okay, that's the reality, as ugly as it is. All right, so well, it's a lower low now at the moment. Okay, or we can this is the low here before this current point in here. But either way, if we're going to connect some dots in here, maybe EJ is playing silly buggers. Yeah. And maybe EJ does want to, it's trading within some strange kind of range like this, and it wants to kick all the way back up in here. Especially as today, guys, have a look. This is where we can have this volatility coming into the markets due to fundamental factors. red folder news, 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 red folder news. It says red folder news in our EU, including ECB and interest rates decisions, which are going to move the markets, as well as PMI come out of the United States, which can add this added, how do I say, added, mischievousness in the markets when they think that they should do something. They do something else. Volatility, yeah, for sure. Okay, so the reality is that we have to manage our risk. We do not know what these markets are going to do. There is red folder news every day. There's some sort of red folder news every day. Yeah, you've seen that every time you come to the markets. There's some red folder news. Yeah, whether it's stuff that you know about, whether it's the bait ones, the non-farm payrolls, and whether it may be, or whether it's the ones that you kind of know less about. There is red folder news every day. Okay, and for that reason we have to manage our risk, because these markets can do what they want. It's that simple. All right, these markets are not here for us. These markets are here to do what they're doing, and they can choose to do what they want. Okay, now that said, if I see these markets breaking a certain type of structure, I will flip my bias. I will say, okay, EJ is trying to push up in that range. EJ is trying to push up in that range. I make it a different color because I zoomed out and put lots of lines on the screen, but they're all the same color. Let's, this one's a bit more creative, this here, but it's possible. It's not impossible that EJ is trying to get from this orange range to that orange range. Yeah, or around that orange to red range. If so, then I would be wrong of this market continuing to want to push down in here. And it doesn't matter, even though I was wrong, I was still able to capture, even though if I am wrong, we were still able to trade liquidity and benefit from that. Okay, I'm going to stick with the fact that I think that it still wants to do that, still wants to push down. Look, on a smaller time frame right now, after making a retracement, it's making another manipulation at the moment. Like to say it's done. It's done its little push up over here, and maybe there's an opportunity to get in if I'm correct and that market wants to continue pushing down bearishly. Maybe there's an opportunity right now. This candle kick back in here, and it's over here at the moment. Maybe there's another opportunity like so to get in. Maybe. All right. So if you was interested in getting into it, I'd say take it as a jab. All right, because it's moving a little bit, troublesome, as I like to say. All right, oops. So I'm going to take a little jab on it also, because I have seen a little wick tapping on a smaller time frame, but as a jab. What does that mean? It means it's not me going in full risk, going in full tilt. It's me saying, okay, let's see. Now, if it does something else, starts pushing up here, it did wick above here, taking some liquidity above this little level. All right, but if I go to my 5-minute time frame, yeah, it did wick above that little 5-minute high here, little wick here. All right, so it's a bit iffy at the moment. All right, but from this perspective here, and I'm going to clean my charts in a minute because they're looking mental. All right, the market is prices making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. And right about now, on a much smaller time frame, we've seen the market wick below these lows. Let's see if the market's going to close down here and continue getting bearish. If it does, and we start seeing this happening, this market's going to hell. In my opinion, it's going to capture Asian session lows. Okay, but if it pushes up here and pushes and breaks here, it's doing something else. I will change my bias, and ultimately that market is trading in that other range, that orange range that I drew, trying to push all the way up into different kind of levels. We shall see. Like I said, this news today and all of this red stuff gives the markets an excuse. Look, EU red stuff, interest rate stuff, deposit facility rate stuff. Okay, it gives markets an excuse to be badly behaved. Okay, that's what it does. All right. Was looking at GU and EU. Didn't give me didn't give me an entry to get into here. On a bigger picture here, on a 5-minute time frame, we've seen a lovely manipulation that's captured liquidity, and maybe, don't tell me I've missed it. You see, all here is a potential entry area. is a potential entry area. Now, this wick is an entry point because it's in the candle that broke that middle point. All right, but obviously I didn't get in then. What I would say is if the market closes down, if it doesn't want to push up some more, and that was the entry. If that market closes down below here, but that will be an entry based upon indication, correction, continuation. All right, so right now I'm going to pop an alert here because I'd like to get involved, but I'm going to look at this GU in a bigger picture. I'm always saying that I'm selling GU, but you know, you can have an overall bias, but what it's going to do right now is going to dictate whether you make any money now or not. Okay, that's the up and down of it. It's going to dictate whether you make any money now or not. We just seen a huge spike up by US 30. Let's go and have a look at US 30, see what it's doing. I was concerned about US 30 of how it took the liquidity. Like, did it really take it properly? Let me show you. So over here, US 30 took some liquidity here, this dotted line. Yeah, this dotted line should say liquidity taken. But there was some liquidity here. Let's zoom back and go and try and identify that liquidity. Let's go back and try and identify and go to my 5-minute time frame. Above this wick high, all right? This wick high came from just before a New York session. So there's this liquidity here and this liquidity over here also, okay? So, you know, I was concerned, like the market didn't really take that wick high with Vim. Yeah, when I say with Vim, look, it kind of just came up here, just tickled it, give it a little tickling, yeah, tickle, 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 and then started to move away. We didn't really take the liquidity. Like if there's stop losses above here, it didn't really take those stop losses. So I was a bit concerned about that, I can't lie to you. But when I saw, you know, breaker structure manipulation, it did give us a nice little trade. Yeah, but it's come down to this level in here, which is actually tapped into a little gap. Here, can you see the gap? Can you see the gap? The gap is here, tapped into a little gap. And then it's just had a massive reaction from there because I think maybe it wants to really take this liquidity properly, which might actually mean not only taking that liquidity, but taking this one that is close beside it also. All right, so I'm going to be waiting and seeing what's going on because the overall bias, let's have a look at the overall picture. Let's understand where we are from a market structure perspective. Okay, market structure perspective. Let's zoom all the way out. Kind of in the middle of the range, which I'm, I'm not a big fan of trading in the middle of a range. I want to trade from the extremes of a range. So in here, when we got down to here, when I'm thinking everything's going swimming and we're going to keep going to hell, it's the middle of the range, and I decided, no, I'm going to decide to go backwards. Yeah, that's what happens in the middle of a range. Okay, we've actually pushed up past the 50% mark, nearly near a 618 mark. And the question is this market going to come back up here to do silly buggers? Or is it going to come all the way down here? Look at last time it came to the middle of the range. Look, it's coming down here. Everyone's thinking to themselves, yeah, we're selling off, going to go to the end of the range. Look, got to the middle of the range. Silly buggers. Back up into here.
EJ is going mental right now.
Let's try and have a look at EJ also.
Might be good to look at.
EJ from yesterday's live for return.
Say that again, sister. Your reception is really bad.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying EJ from yesterday looking like a bearish move.
I think so as well. I agree with you. I was looking at it very for to be bearish, etc. Start moving down in this range. But like I said, the issue is that as US 30 is just going to take in those highs as I want to see. So look, right now I'm going to split this screen between EJ and US 30 so I can do two things at once. Hopefully my computer has no issues. Yeah. Let's go over here. US 30, USD. Let's go over here.
EJ might have just been taking liquidity from earlier, just for this.
For sure, bro. For sure. But at the same time, this is EJ on the bigger picture. I'm a bit concerned. Are we at the bottom of a range in a discount, or are we at the top of this white range, or are we at the bottom of this orange range? That's my concern. All right. Now you see US 30 over here, in my opinion, has You know what I don't like? You see, like when I go onto the split screen, it come like it doesn't want to. All of my markup from the big screens seems to go sometimes. It's like it's hating on man. It wants me to trying to trick man, trying to hate on man. Then really take my positions. Like I know that I put in another liquidity line there. Why can't I see it when I do split screen? Let's have a look. Let me check it one more time because let's see if I'm not going. Yeah, see, I can see it. No, I'm lying. Sorry, let me not start hitting wrong pair. US30, USD. Yeah, definitely did. Look, all of these lines going on. So look, this is it proper taking the liquid. Remember I said to you, it's coming up here, kind of tickled it. So now it's taking this, which makes more sense, fully taking it properly, and now he's taking the one close to it. This makes more sense to me. Before earlier, I was like, yeah, but I still traded what I saw, which was that, you know, it started making a manipulation M pattern here, which is good. And we got this little trade in here. But now this thing has erupted. And ultimately, you know, the question is, are we in it the wrong way? Should we be in it for the buy now? Or is it just capturing liquidity? And that takes us zooming out and being able to understand where we are in the bigger picture. That's what it takes, all right? So I'm going to zoom. I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to zoom all the way out and do the due diligence all over again. And in my opinion, like I said to you, look, we're in the middle of the range. This is the range here. This big yellow to yellow is the range. And it's a bullish market, all right? And we've come down to the middle of the range here, this wick. Might as well say exactly to the middle of the range. And then we've had a reaction. Now we're coming back up into here, okay? The question is where is it going? So the only way I can judge that is that if I'm a day trader and I'm trying to take trades quickly, is understand where is the liquidity. So these levels are where liquidity sits. I've identified them all. So now what it is I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for my signal, my green flag, after liquidity has been taken. So we can see here that by all of those dotted red lines that says, if you look on my right hand side of the screen, says liquidity taken. Nam, 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 nam. Where liquidity has been taken. The issue is, like I said to you, we're making a move from the middle of the range. That's a bit of the concern that I don't love. I don't love being in the middle of the range. I want to be at the extremes of a range, all right? Because it might say, you know what, Jay, I'm not done. Might make a little manipulation M, start giving us some profits, and then we'll say, I want to take this liquidity as well. And then I want to take this liquidity as well because I'm just greedy like that. Yeah, it could do that. I'm not going to lie to you. It could do that. So I have to read and react to what it does and manage my risk. All right, so if I go over here, this is GU and EU. Over here, this is EJ and US30. So here, the reason I'm doing that is so I can multitask. I want to see now after taking a look. I just don't understand why it doesn't have all my lines here where the other one has all my lines. It's crazy. It's the exact same pair. So I wonder. I don't know why TradingView doesn't show me the same thing. It must be a glitch. All right. So on EJ also, have a look at EJ. Let's go and zoom into EJ. Go to the 15-minute time frame and identify what it's doing. I want to look at EJ on a bigger picture. Oh, and I have already. Remember, I was questioning. Is EJ at the top of this white range, which is kind of pushing its head above now? Or is it at the bottom of this orange range where we just want to keep going up and up and up and up and up? I'm going to lie, the direction is not clear to me. And there's times when direction, let me change this because I'm getting lots of little lines in here that I don't want to see because it's showing me the midpoints. So I'm going to get rid of the midpoints. It would be a bit cleaner. See, show pivot midpoints. No, let's get rid of that. It'll be less scribble on my screen. So here we can see New York session high over here representing liquidity, all right? We can also see we're at 50%, a previous battlefield over here right now where the market was trying to break through and then it broke through with speed and strength. I'm going to identify that by saying previous battlefield here. Then I'm going to go to my 1 minute time frame. Again, that EJ is a bit different to understand the direction. The only thing we can do is try to see the correlation between EJ and the US30, if they have any type of correlation, if they move similarly, okay? But either way, I'm looking at both of these pairs right now and trying to see whether they're giving me that's giving me what I need. A nice manipulation, and that was the entry, maybe. Here, I'll take a jab. Yeah, it's giving me my manipulation, and it has tapped in very quickly, but I'm gonna jab on it, all right? So you know what that means, guys. It means that I'm not gonna be full risk. So I'm gonna take it, so that it starts giving me some profits, Or if it doesn't give you some profits, look at US 30 doing the same thing as well. So we can see how these markets are moving very similar. But on a 1 minute time frame, US 30 hasn't given me what I need to see. On a 30-second time frame, it has. Now, there's an issue with this, and I'm going to tell you what it is, okay? I'm going to tell you guys what it is. So if the market, for me, I've noticed, has something very, very quick, like sometimes it gives me the exact same strategy what I want to see, but it gives it to me even smaller, like on a kind of micro level. Yeah, I don't want any of you really down in the 30-second time frame. Yeah, because really right now this market can come down here, push back up, make a nice big manipulation M. But sometimes I've seen the market give me exactly what I'm waiting for after seeing it to grab liquidity. Now, it's not because it's just giving it to me anywhere, because the market could be traveling up here for ages and doesn't give me any manipulation M. Then all of a sudden, boom, I see a manipulation M, even on a smaller time frame, like 30 seconds, exactly after liquidity's been taken. So I've seen it in its right location. Okay, so sometimes, you know, the market, if it has a lot of speed into one area, you know, sometimes it won't give you that 1 minute confirmation, but it might give it to you on a smaller time frame. This is extremely high risk. This isn't, you know, the smaller you are in time frame, the more issues that are going to be having them is the broker giving you the candles correct? What about your spread? What about them trying to grab your spread and stop you out? You know, what about dealing desk manipulation, all these type of things? Like, you have this problem when you're so small. So I'm just telling you, but it's not something that you need to be in a habit. And if you don't see it, that breaker structure on your 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, whatever it may be, then that's fine, you missed it. And there's not a problem with you missing the trade. You know why? Because there'll be another trade. Okay? Let me say that one more time for the guy in the back. It's not a problem if you missing the trade, because there will be another trade. All right. There is, however, a problem you FOMOing into a position. All right, because that builds bad habits. Okay, you FOMOing into a position builds bad habits. Yeah, and it builds habits that ultimately will just take money off you. Because there's always going to be. See, now when I'm looking at GU, yeah, there's always going to be this potential of, you know, a trade that you missed, this big trade. There's some trader online that said he's selling gold right now, and supposedly he made X amount of money yesterday and the day before. So whatever he's doing, I'm doing. Let me just FOMO in so that I don't miss out. This doesn't teach you anything. It teaches you nought. This only thing it teaches you is bad habits. Okay. This GU, even though, like I said, we're going to look at GU on a bigger picture. US 30, we had on here EJ and US 30. The EJ is running here. Have a look. Remember, I said to you that there was a very quick push up in here. But as it pushed up in here and grabbed that liquidity from this level, it did make a manipulation M here. It's very small, yeah, and very rapid, yeah. And now we've seen a bigger push down. It's pushing now. I am in a little bit of profits there, but you know, it was a jab, so it's not huge. Now the markets, is it going to come and return back into this level? The way I can see the candles moving, I'm not sure. Right? I'm not sure if it's going to give anyone an opportunity to get back in around here. Okay, let's have a look at it. Why? You know, maybe this market kicks all the way back up into here and gives an entry. Maybe it does. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop an alert for people that wasn't able to get in. Okay. Maybe it kicks back in here and gives an entry and continues selling off. But at the moment, this could just be a little bit of a fake move, because the market actually wants to push up, because it hasn't actually broken any structure as yet. Even though this is falling to hell, I need it to break that for me to think of anything. Yeah, at the moment we haven't done that, so don't get it twisted. It could just be pushing all the way down in here to tap in, close this imbalance to go this way. because maybe the direction is incorrect. Yeah, maybe. There's not a problem with me saying that. Sometimes things are not as clear as other things. Do you know? Do you know whether or not, that is a, the doctor, you ask the doctor that is this or that, and they say, well, we're not too sure. We're gonna have to, you're gonna have to have a scan. From what I can see, this is what I believe, but I don't know. We're gonna have to have a scan. It's not a problem, is it? It's better that he says that than he goes to me, yes, I know it's this, and he's wrong. Yeah? It's the same when you're trading. It's not every single time things are clear to you. All right? If they're not clear to you, then on that basis, you either don't have to take the trade, stay out, wait for something that's clear to you, or if you do get in, you're going to manage your risk accordingly. You're going to be like, you know what? I'm not sure, so I don't want to, risk the dog and the house and the kids, because I'm not sure, but I've got an inkling. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, if you can see that your instincts are sharp and over time your instincts have made you money, okay? For example, my instincts said to me that EJ might not come back. I don't know, but I took a jab, and that jab's risk-free now, just in case it does come back. All right? Or just in case it decides that, in fact, to the lie, I can leave, right there, leave my position where it is. If it does come back, it will just tap in. All right, so let me just change that, sorry. It's only sometimes when I'm teaching, I'm multitasking, so sometimes I like to add, I'm a bit over cautious. But yeah, this market might come and tap back in over here. If it does come and tap back in over here, cool. It's another entry for you guys. If it doesn't, which is the way it was moving, I thought to myself, it might not. All right, the way I saw these candles forming, the way it was quite a small, it wasn't a big displacement, but then afterwards kept bearish. On another time frame, this is one big candle. So have a look at these candles. On a 2-minute time frame, we're getting this big push here, but not off of the back of a manipulation M, just off of the back of a little V top. Okay. Could that market come and push back into this imbalance? Of course it could. Yeah, and this market could decide, you know what? Look what I said. I said I wanted to see it break here. Hasn't broken here. So ultimately, what the market has done right now is made higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. This is a higher low. Why shouldn't it? In fact, I'm going to make it risk-free. For the exact reason why I'm talking out loud to you. Why can't it go and it wants to push up in here? Can do. It can say, you know what, Jay, you think we're going down, but actually we're going up because there's news coming out later. We want to be as troublesome as possible, and we've just made from here a higher high, breaking these minor structures in here, and these old little bits of structure in here, broke that high, closed it here, made a higher low, made a higher high, closing above this level in here, and now we've just made a higher low. Why do you believe that somehow right now we're going to start making lower lows and lower highs? We've actually been showing you no reason to do that. Yeah, apart from the fact of the structure where I was in and the capture of some liquidity and it tapping into a previous battlefield. Yeah, it's actually doing something else. Hence the reason why in my management of my trade, it's risk-free. So only about $300 up because it's a jab, but it's risk-free. I don't want to take no L's on it because I'm concerned about it. I'm concerned the fact this haven't breakdown. If this does this now and come and starts breaking down here, it's different. Happy days. Let me put a little alert over here. But at the moment, I don't know. I don't know what's going to do. That's it. Sorry, I don't have a fortune, a crystal ball, and I can't tell you exactly what it's going to do. I apologize. Yeah. US 30 for me looks like it's ready. Made a more clean manipulation M, even though it wasn't at the top of the thing. So even though it's in here, I didn't see huge displacement, but we did see displacement here. And let's see right now if that candle closes down below here. If it does, maybe that's an entry for somebody who hasn't been in. All right, and you could take that trade. My watch ringing now. Do that again. Add an alert. Crossing down. You know, if you're gonna take that trade, you know, the safest place to place your stop. Why does it keep ringing? Why is it down? Let's try one more time. Add an alert. Crossing down. Yeah, if it closes down below this little level in here, that means it's just made this very small, ugly, disguised manipulation M. All right, it's very, not with displacement. I will tell you that for now. It doesn't have big displacement in it, okay, at all, okay? But it just made this little manipulation M here. But I would never take this here on the tap-in because of all of this nonsense that's happened before. I would be interested as and when it closes down below, which you can see it hasn't done. So this is the reason why I would never just take, if it was at the top of here, grab the liquidity, made a beautiful manipulation M with displacement, that's different. But all of this fluff in here, nah. I'm looking at it because it's the pattern I like to see, but I'm going to be taking indication, correction, continuation, which we can see here we haven't got. So good job, I didn't take it. I'm also going to be scanning my different pair time frames. Can I see what I see on a different time frame? And remember, just because I've chosen to look at it on a 5-minute time frame doesn't mean it has to show, or a 1-minute time frame, doesn't mean it has to show me it on a 1-minute time frame. We might get a nice, beautiful manipulation M pattern here on US 30 on the 5-minute time frame. Yeah, it might come up here now, break this here, come down here, and give us a lovely entry on a 5-minute time frame. Very, very, very possible. Yeah, very possible. This is trading, and this is how you manage your trade and how you have to be discerning about what is going on in the markets. It's not going to do what you want it to do because you want it to do it. And see, previously this market made a manipulation M that tapped in, that gave us this trade down here, and that was on a 5-minute time frame. I was able to identify that. So it's looking very possible that that's what it's on today, making 5-minute breaker structures. Okay, and if that is the case, then we're going to break those highs, this little high, and make a manipulation M here on the 5-minute time frame. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Take comfort in the fact I'm telling you I don't know. So if I told you I know it's going to do this, I know it's going to do that, and it did something else, so that makes me a fool, right? Yeah, so I don't want to be a fool. I don't want to talk on things that I don't know. I don't know. All right? We're watching it, seeing what it does. Also watching EJ. US 30 is pushing down here, and I didn't make the on the 5-minute time frame. Didn't give me what I wanted to see. Let's have a look on all time frames. On the 3-minute time frame, didn't give me what I want to see. On a 2-minute time frame, maybe giving me what I want to see. But it's all of this sideways action. This is sideways action, by the way. Don't get twisted. This is the market moving sideways. Watch this. If I drop it down to 15 seconds time frame, look at that. That is sideways action. That is the market having a conversation about what we doing, where we going, where we doing. That's what they're doing. All right. So ultimately, like I said to you, that's why you see me. I'm like trying to gauge it because the market's in an argument. We're going up, we're going down. What are we saying? We want to take some stops. We want to do this. What are you saying, bro? That's what's happening. That's what the candles are saying to each other. Okay. We've seen a little push out, a little leg out here now. You know, on a 2-minute time frame, that's a nice leg out. That is, I can take as a manipulation M, and therefore there's potential entry coming up now, potentially. All right, you can either take the entry when the tap in or wait until it closes down below here. Wait until it closes down below would be indication, correction, continuation, and taking it on the tap in, which is happening now, would be based upon, you know, liquidity. It's probably better that you take it when it closes down below. Yeah, it's probably better that you take it if it closes down below here, because all of this fluff could ultimately be in a small time frame, a Wyckoff schematic. Not quite, but this could be just bouncing down here to spring and go all the way up in here to these levels and give us that 5-minute. Oh, not quite, not on a 5-minute anyway, not from that spring. I was going to say give it that 5-minute manipulation M, but so we're watching it. On the 2-minute, it's giving me what I want to see, which is here. This is a manipulation M pattern, but when I really zoom out, look at the candles, this is a lot of sideways consolidation, froth energy. The question is this market going to tap in without breaking this structure here, without breaking these highs? Is the market going to close down below these lows right now? That's the question, because the market is misbehaving. Yeah, it's taking this liquidity, that liquidity, this liquidity, and it's doing the hokey cokey now. And look, this is why I said to you, we're going to wait for this candle to close down here. We're not going to get all carried away and try and take this trade early, because this market, especially because of the news coming out, could have other plans. Could want to come up here for this liquidity identified. Could want to come and push all the way up here for this liquidity identified. I don't know. I do know we took good trades this morning and I've banked certain profits. So I don't want to give those profits back trying to be greedy, trying to force trades. I want my trade to be clean. Liquidity isn't taken, boom, 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 lovely manipulation M, taps in, break structure, boom, I'm in. I don't want it to be like I'm reaching, I'm doing like, it's all in code. I'm trying to decode it. Yeah, I don't want it to be that kind of scenario. Let's go back to US30 and see where we pushed up to. We pushed all the way up to a little gap. Let's see whether or not that was what it was reaching for. Actually, it doesn't care about that little structure in here. There was a little gap in here on my MT5 and a little bit on this Owanda. Let's see if now the market is actually going to fall down to hell, or it doesn't care about that little ugly manipulation M and it's actually just ramping. Let's see. Because there was, look here on the 2 minute time frame. I'm talking about this. If you can't see it, I'm talking about this on the 2 minute time frame. Now I'm not saying it's clean. It is far from clean. This one is far from clean. It's actually a mess. But I'm searching for a reason to get involved. All right. So at the moment, where is it gone? Yeah, it's there. Can't really see it properly. Should I make it? Let me make it thicker. Can I make it thicker? Can you make it thicker? That is my reason that I'm searching for, I'm reaching for to get involved. Yeah? But it's so frothy, it's so hard to identify. I'm not fully confident that that's what's going to happen. So again, this market has come down here without violating that first high. Same question. Are we going to close below this low without violating the previous high? And then maybe that would justify that little M that it actually was something. Yeah, on a 2 minute time frame. All right, let's go and look at something else. I hope I've broken that down and given some explanation. GU. Like I want to sell GU because it's. I'm gonna look at GU in a minute. All right, let's have a look at something different. Something just refresh the eyes. I'm gonna look at gold. Let's look at gold. Now, some people are scared of gold because they're taking some L's in gold because gold can move, gold can shift. Yeah. But that shift is not a bad thing, it's potentially a good thing for you. All right, in my opinion, have a look at gold. You know, there's liquidity up here that has to be taken. There's liquidity down here that the market might choose to take. They actually started running and taking this liquidity, or, you know, Frankfurt session, it already pushed past this Asian session high, pushed past this little high that was a previous little high at the end of New York session in the evening. You know, but it hasn't gotten taken actual liquidity from the session high that we can see a huge push from with strength and speed. That makes me think that maybe now what the market's doing is tapping in to a previous battlefield and potentially going to go make a run for that liquidity. So when I'm looking here, I can see some manipulation W's. They're ugly. This one was very ugly, came down very deep. You know, it's what I need to see. Now, somebody else is turning around and saying, oh, well, I don't need to see that, and I can get him. Good for you, but I've got my own rules. There's another 2 minute one there, would have given us an entry if we had our stop below the lows. There's a 3 minute one there that the market's just tapped into over here. You know, what I'm going to do is a late entry, but I'm going to do this. We must stop below these lows over here for 220 or 22 pips on gold. All right, and I'm going to take a jab. Okay, it's a late entry. I'm going to say again, it is a late entry. It's not a great entry, but I'm risking such little capital. It's just a jab. All right, it's just a jab. So jabbing, that's my jab. I'm not scared to take a trade, to hit the button, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to take trades and hit the button. All right, now I've taken that trade on the basis that if this market is trying to push up here, continue its journey to capture this liquidity after breaking, taking some Asian session liquidity, trickling down, sitting on a previous battlefield, which is the previous area, the previous highs where the structure couldn't be broken, giving me a manipulation W right on that line, and then tapping into there. So, you know, I want to be able to see, hopefully this market's going to say, yep, and start pushing up here and saying, you know, I'm making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher highs until we take this liquidity or even this liquidity. But at the moment, it's a very small jab. But if I see it running in the right direction, doing good things, I will look to scale into my position, meaning add to my position. Yeah, that's what I'd be looking to do if I can. All right. Reading it, watching it. We shall see. So right now, there's nothing really hot that I'm looking at. Everything's a little bit, it's a bit iffy. Things are making moves from middle of the ranges. Things are dancing around. I've got a US 30 jab on it and a gold jab, and they're both red at the moment. One's red $40, one's red $30. So very close to entry. And keep your eyes peeled today. Why is this market maybe moving like this? You know, again, I don't know why, but why it may be moving like this is we have extensive red folder news, euro here at 115. We have ECB rates at 115, red folder, that's in the euro. Then we've got PPI, US at 130. We've got, you know, jobless claims at 130, jobless claims. Like, so for me, around 130, 115, the market's going to get active. And prior to that, it may be moving in a direction, and then you're going to see 150, 130 getting active. Some volatility. Yesterday, we caught a big move based upon some news that came out and tossed GU and EU bearishly, and straight away propelled my position through a free bag position. Yeah, can happen. Okay, especially if you're in it from early and your stop's not too close to get caught by the volatility. Any questions, guys? Any questions at this stage? We're coming to 5 to 9. I have been rapping away.
You said something about Wyckoff something. What's that?
All right, so Wyckoff and a Wyckoff schematic is like I'm gonna say a strategy. It's like a school of thought in regards to how you'll be able to see how these markets may move. Now, I don't follow it because I think it overthinks it. Yeah, I think it just goes nuts basically. Yeah, this is like a Wyckoff schematic. And it speaks about how the MAR price comes into a range. Let me try and remember all these abbreviations. This is the automatic rally. This is the sign of strength, that market pushing up here. And then this is it coming down here, another sign of strength in phase B. Then this is the spring, where it springs over here and does something. Yeah. And this is what's up here? This is the sign of strength, it breaking that previous, like it goes nuts with this whole schematic. And people ultimately start saying, yeah, boom, they're looking at this and they're waiting for the automatic rally and this and that. I just think they go nuts. EJ is going in the right direction. Let's have a look at EJ right now. Oh, have a look at EJ. Our manipulation M are tapping right there. Yeah, EJ is going in the right direction. We'll stop, which was in a different place just to reduce the risk because, like I said to you, I am not sure about EJ, what it really wants to do. So I always want to be managing my risk with it. I'm not sure still, but we did see a lovely break of structural manipulation. And remember, the reason why is because we was already looking at EJ from earlier. And I was saying to you, I wanted to sell it to her. Do you get what I'm saying? So I've already got that kind of bias after it taking liquidity and pushing away from it. This retracement was like kind of out of the blue. Kind of like, why are you retracing all the way up here? So I'm still got that bias of EJ being able to, come all the way down. If I'm going to start putting my camera on again in the mornings as well. I turned it off for a little while. I'd like this market to now, after really capturing this liquidity properly, I really want it to come all the way down here ultimately. All right. I just don't know because I don't know where the direction isn't clear. This actually could be tapping into a manipulation W here. No, maybe. Yeah, over here to then push up. this is what I said to you, which I don't really know, which means that right about now, after hitting the button and getting involved, maybe that market's tapping into this here area on a 2-minute time frame. It's looking on a 1-minute time frame also, because the market tapped into that 50% of that range, and then it wants to push up in here. So once again, let's go see what GU's doing real quick. Once again, I'm a bit concerned, and I'm going to not make it risk-free, but I'm going to reduce my risk. I'm going to reduce my risk, okay? I'll have a quick glimpse at GU. That's just ringing off. Ring off. All right, let's go look at it on a big screen. What was I saying about gold? I was saying that maybe gold wants to push up bullishly, which is currently going bearishly. Okay, maybe, baby. All right, so we're gonna see what that does. That's fine. Let's go and change this to GU. Remember, do we see the way I trade and you see my attitude? I want you to pay particular attention to it. So I don't care. I'm not trying to say you should be out here taking multiple trades. I'm doing that for your benefit. To be fair, looking across different pairs, because it'd be pretty boring if we just was looking and just staring at one pair for a whole hour. Yeah, but my attitude to taking the trades it is what it is. I've managed my risk, and the risk is on God. Like, it's not. I can't get anxiety about it because I'm here to take trades. I can't see a real entry here. Let me see. Yeah, I can. Kind of ish. Maybe this wick gave an entry on a little manipulation M. Okay, ish. Okay, but that's what it is. I'm here to take trades. Some I'm gonna win, some I'm gonna lose. My winners are supposed to outweigh my losers, and that's how I make money. That's it. Like, so many people take it so deep. Like, oh, they get really disheartened when they take a loss. They can't pull the trigger and get an entry. Like, you're looking at it all wrong. You're looking at it all wrong. You are never gonna always be correct in this trading thing. It's never gonna be the case. Yeah? The best traders in the world are not always correct. Like, the best traders in the world, they say something has like a win ratio of something like 70%. Best in the world. Been doing this for 40 years. They wear corduroy suits in the summer with white socks. Yeah? They're at 70%. So you can't be out here on some, every trade I take is going to be a winner. Every trade you take is not going to be a winner. But the ones you do take, let's have a look at our US 30 jab. If you do get it right, and you are correct in your ideas, like your ideas about it taking liquidity up here, your ideas about what we was talking about, that could be our manipulation M in there that was really sneaky. Can you remember? It was just 10 minutes ago we was talking about this. Your ideas breaking the structure, wicking below it at the moment, not quite closing below it, but in your ideas can give you profits. And if you understand how to manage your risk, understand how to manage your trades, so that even if you're wrong, you can still get out, without being unscathed, or you know how to take profits. Like, there's about $800 in that at the moment for me, even though it's kicking backwards. But like I said to you, for me right now, there is a little bit of shiftiness in the market. It's a bit shifty. Yeah, it's a little bit shifty. That's what I can describe. It's a bit shifty. You know when man's shifty? You ever seen a man who's shifty? Just standing beside you and it's moving a bit shifty. Like, why are you moving so much, bro? Stop touching my shoulder. Yeah? This one's moving a bit shifty. Okay, so what I'm going to say is, any questions before we finish up? That's what I'm going to say. Any questions before we finish up? I want you guys to if you're trading today, to be conscious of the news and the fact that the markets are moving a bit shifty. Yeah, a bit, what are you on? Yeah? So for that reason, you have to manage your risk. Don't be going nuts in your risk. If you accidentally take a trade, I spoke to you about earlier, I accidentally hit buy instead of sell. And I was like, patting myself on the back like, woo, look at it go, perfect entry. This was on the EJ earlier. I was like, look at the entry, beautiful. And then I looked at my profits And I was like, why is this going backwards? Why am I in red? Well, I hit buy instead of sell. I had to close that trade straight away, take the L on my chin. Yeah, and get in the right way, which luckily turned around, and then that trade ended up to be about 1,300. Yeah. But the point is that, you know, do you have the strength and the fortitude to take the L, to close it out, to believe in the trade in regards to your own ideas? Because that's what you're doing as a trader. You're backing yourself. Nobody's out here can tell you. That's why I was reading back through, I think, is Ray still on the call? Oh no, she's falling off a call. That's why I don't do signal services. I don't give out signals. How am I gonna, like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't with signals. If I do signals, give out signals, and all my signals are hitting, man's gonna be feeling me. As soon as my signals don't hit, man's gonna be saying I don't know what I'm doing. But what you don't know is the same signal that I gave you, I was risk free. I broke even, or I made profits. Because I'm not, that's not sure. Because I say to you guys, I'm looking at US 30 from this price to that price and that price to this price, blah, blah. That doesn't mean that, you know, I never got in the same trade and I took profits and you got in the same trade and you didn't take profits. Because maybe you didn't you didn't do your partials. Maybe you didn't move your stop loss to entry. Maybe you entered wrong. So that's not teaching you jack squat. What's teaching you is in the morning when I'm trading, I will put what I'm looking at to help you guys out, because obviously you understand that means that liquidity has been taken, blah, 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 blah. So I will put it up on the screen. I'm looking at X, and then you will see me working. So you can see where I'm working, see what I'm doing. But I'm leaving the decisions to you, bro. What do you want to do? I can't hold your hand through this thing. What is it that you want to do? If you're looking at it and you see that M and you see me there and you see whatever, and if you hear the sound or if you ask me, I will tell you. I'll say, yeah, I did just get in. But I'm not going to talk you through everything. That's what I do after I'm able to trade. That's what I do there from 8 to 9. But prior to that, you got to make your own decisions. You got to back yourself. Like, I think that's a manipulation M, you know, Jay. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go for it. But I don't want to go and risk my whole, you know, $100. I'm going to risk $50. Cool, bro, do that. Because when you do that for yourself with all your own decisions and it comes off, you're going to build confidence. You're going to be like, damn, I think I know what I'm doing. Like, I actually saw this happen. I saw that happen. I did this and I did that, and then that happened. Okay, if you can do it once, you do it again and again and again and again. But if you're taking signals, or because Jay did this, you're doing that, what is it? What if I'm not there? What if I decide that I'm not, you know, stead? You didn't learn nothing. So that signal stuff don't work. That, you know, even the algo stuff doesn't work. The algo stuff does work, but it doesn't work from the perspective of as soon as the algo starts to fail, then what? Because the algo is only as good as the person behind it. The algo is only as good as the person who codes it. If you make your own algo and you can tweak it and change it based upon market conditions or what's going on, that is different. But if you're going to pay a man to use his algos might work today, it might work tomorrow, it might even work the day after, but then it stops working. You start taking L's. Then what? What power do you have? Another man's still got dominion over whether you're going to make any money or not. Yeah, you might have cashed a little money on the algo. I'm not disputing that. So cool. If you're going to say you've got some money in algo as well as the fact that you can manually execute trades and do something, well, good for you. That's what I'm talking about. That's cool. That's diversifying your portfolio. You're doing manual trading and algo trading. But if you're going to be here relying on my algo that I've created, if that was the case, there'd be one algo that somebody created way back in the day, and everyone's just been using the same algo and killing the game forever. But there's not one algo. Every single Tom, Dick, and Harry has an algo. And the algorithm is just basically, for example, me putting in my own strategy, but for a computer to do it. So every time it sees a manipulation M, I could code it. I can code algo. You can code it in Python, and you can code it. I could code it myself. I could go to ChatGPT and try and get the loose structure of the code and code it. And maybe I will. Maybe I'll code an algo that every time you get a manipulation M after a break of structure, after a liquidity grab over the Asian session highs or this high or that high, that it executes the trade. And once I can do that and code the algo and I can put in a fixed risk, it means that ultimately it can take these trades without me being here. I could do that. But sometimes you can see me here going, even though it's made the M there, I'm not too sure because I can see this liquidity above. Well, that algo would lose that trade. Whereas I wouldn't, from a manual perspective, lose that trade. And you have to test your algo. Who knows how many times the algo keeps doing that, how many mistakes it makes. Is it only 50% right? Is it only 60% right? Well, if it's only 50, 60% right, well, it's not outstripping my performance. So what's the benefit of it? Okay, the benefit of it is doing it without you being there. Okay, cool, no problem. But you get my point. Yeah? Any questions? Any questiones? My position US30 has gone backwards a little bit with a little moonwalk, but it is still profitable, about $400. Let's see what it does. Is what it is. It's actually risk-free as well because of how I'm concerned about the way the market's being misbehaving. I'm making my trades risk-free earlier. You see, this is risk management. I've given you guys a loose structure saying to you, make it risk-free when it's 1 to 3. Well, not a loose structure. I've given you a structure. And when it's 1 to 10 close, you take the profits, blah, blah, blah. But if the markets are moving mad, if there's news coming out, if there's certain things coming out, and I don't want to just take the L's for the sake of taking the L's, I'll make my trade risk-free before that. And if it stops me up for nothing, I'm like, yeah, cool. Because I don't really want to be in this pool anyway. I see man pissing in the pool. I don't really want to be in here anyway because it's a bit mad today. So if you stop me out at 0, yeah, cool. It's better than me staying there and getting a mouthful of pissy water because I decided to keep my stop all the way here for full risk. This is about trade management. This is about understanding what you're doing. So do you understand the value of being present and having your narratives and backing your own ideas? It's so that you can make these decisions. Because I'm going to say, let's get in a trade right now for US30 and I'm going to get stopped out for 0, or I'm going to get stopped out for profits. And you're going to take the exact same trade, but because you're not present and you're not managing the trade and you don't understand certain things, you might take an L when I didn't take an L. You might make only $100 when I made $500 because I know how to scale it. So being here, being present and learning all these things is essential. Nobody can't give you that bone. That's for you, and that's from coming from experience and time in the market. Time in. Time, space in the market. Yeah? And that's not that can be used in two ways. That can be used in the way of your swing trade. You have a much larger position and leaving your trade to stay in the market. And also just, if I'm using it in the context of, putting in the hours under your belt. All right. Opposed to timing the market. I'm going to time it right now and I'm going to get a pinpoint, half a pip entry and it's going to go to hell from there. Like that's a lot more difficult. Yeah. Than placing your trade with a larger stop loss and having time in that market and allowing it to turn around, or in the context that I'm using it, being able to put the hours in and put some time in to the markets so you can see these things when they become clear to you. Like when I come back from gym at 6:45, maybe 6:50, and straight away I can glance at these markets and know what's interesting to me at a glance, to the point so that at 7 o'clock I'm actually executing trades. That's only come from reps, time in the gym. Like you're in the gym, you can see straight away that Mama's doing that trade, that exercise wrong, and there's a very high probability he's going to hurt his back. Why? You've hurt your back doing that, or you've seen someone else hurt their back doing that, and you know how to use the machine. If you've never come to the gym, how are you going to know that person across the road, across the gym is doing that exercise incorrectly? You're not going to know. You're new. You don't know how to do the exercises yourself. You've seen it on TV, you've seen it on Instagram, but you actually don't know how to deadlift yourself properly. Yeah? Guys, have an amazing day. If there's no more questions, I'm going to keep it shuffling. Look out for news at 1:15 and 1:30. It's going to be active. I definitely believe it's going to be active at 1:30 and probably going to be active at 2:30. I'm going to put something on for us to get some education from. I'm going to wish everybody on the live on YouTube to like and share and subscribe and go and register to Unity to be free.